Are you moving within South Dakota and wondering how to update your driver's license address without the absolute hassle of visiting in person? We all know the dread of long DMV lines. Well, stick around as we guide you step by step through the process in this explainer, saving you time and ensuring your records are totally up to date, right from the comfort of your own home.
Welcome to the explainer. Look, moving is stressful enough without letting paperwork drag you down. So today, we're keeping it highly practical. We are going to master the South Dakota online address change system so you can bypass those physical exam stations entirely.
Here's a quick look at our roadmap for today. We'll start with who can actually apply online, then gathering your documents, the step-by-step process, updating your vehicles and voting, troubleshooting after you submit, and finally, a quick recap. All right, jumping right into Section 1. Can you apply online? Let's check out those eligibility requirements.
So, it turns out South Dakota's security parameters are surprisingly strict. Because the state complies with the Federal Real ID Act, the online system is kind of like an exclusive club. The absolutely biggest hurdle? That gold star. If your current license does not have a little gold star up in the upper right corner, you are officially locked out of the online system and you literally have to go in person. Plus, your current license has to be valid or expired for fewer than 30 days. And just a heads up, if you're trying to change your legal name, upgrade your license class, or if you just moved to South Dakota from out of state, the online portal is going to block you. Out-of-state transfers always require an initial in-person visit.
Now, beyond those general rules, the system has some very specific gatekeeping you should know about. For instance, minors under 18, they can't do this solo. They actually need a notarized parental consent form. For our drivers aged 65 and older, you can absolutely use the portal, but you're going to have to upload a South Dakota vision statement form that's been signed by an eye doctor within the last year. And if you wear bioptic lenses, unfortunately the online route is just prohibited for safety evaluation reasons. Knowing these barriers right up front ensures you don't get halfway through the application only to get frustrated, you know?
Okay, Section 2. Gathering your required documents. This is basically what you need to grab before you even start clicking. You are going to need 2 distinct documents to prove your physical South Dakota address. They have to be under 1 year old, and they must clearly display your first and last name right alongside your new physical address. Stuff like utility bills, bank statements, and lease agreements are perfect. But listen to this. There is a brilliant quirk in the rules here. If you apply online, a high-resolution digital photo or a PDF of your bill is perfectly acceptable. But ironically, if you walk into an exam station with a physical photocopy of that exact same bill, it's instantly rejected. Seriously. So definitely leverage the digital portal to your advantage and just snap some clear photos of your mail. Now, South Dakota is famously incredible for RVers and digital nomads. If you're a full-time traveler using a mail forwarding service, you obviously don't have a traditional physical address. But South Dakota actually has a special carve-out just for you. You can still change your address online, but you have to upload a very specific 3-part compliance package. Get this, you need a notarized residency affidavit, a receipt proving you stayed at least 1 single night in a South Dakota hotel or campground within the last year, and your personal mailbox service agreement. And just to be clear, fully virtual addresses are strictly rejected. It absolutely must be a registered PMB provider.
I also want to take a quick second to call out a special exemption for our military families. If you're active duty military or a dependent stationed out of state or overseas, the state actually grants you some wonderful administrative flexibility. You are totally permitted to upload 2 documents verifying either your out-of-state physical residential address or an official APO/FPO military post office address.
Let's move on to Section 3, the step-by-step online process. Time to navigate the MySD portal.
All right, here is your 4-step master plan. First, you'll head over to sd.gov and establish a MySD account. This is basically a unified, secure login that's used across a bunch of state agencies. Second, once you click Submit Application, you'll enter your current license number, your date of birth, and the last 4 digits of your Social Security number just to pull up your file. Third, you'll upload those 2 digital photos or PDFs we just talked about. And finally, you verify the information and pay the fee. Boom! 4 simple clicks to conquer the paperwork.
Speaking of the fee, here is the exact number you need to know. $22. It breaks down super simply as a standard $20 base fee for the duplicate card, plus a mandatory $2 digital processing surcharge for using the online system.
Okay, now for a major pro tip. Listen up because this is absolutely crucial. You need to heavily scrutinize the address you type into the system before you hit that final payment button.
The automated system is literally going to print exactly what you type. A simple typo, like forgetting your apartment number or misspelling your street, means your brand new $22 credential will just get lost in the mail. So double-check your work.
Which brings us to Section 4, updating vehicles and voting, or as I like to call it, the administrative twist.
Because here is the massive gotcha moment I found while looking into all this. You'd probably think telling the state your new address means you're totally finished, right? Nope. Unfortunately, South Dakota does not use a single interconnected database. Changing your driver's license address does not automatically update your vehicle titles, your vehicle registration, or your voter registration databases. And why does this matter? Well, failing to proactively update these entirely separate databases can lead to delinquent taxes on your car, or, way worse, actually getting turned away at the voting booth because you're listed in the wrong precinct.
So, how do we fix it? Well, it's a tale of two different agencies. For your vehicles, which are handled by the Department of Revenue, you can actually use that exact same MySD login you just created to access a portal called My605 Drive and update your address online. It's really seamless. But for voter registration, that is managed by the Secretary of State, and by law, they strictly prohibit online updates. I'm serious. You have to kick it old school. You have to download a paper form, sign it with an original, wet pen and ink signature, and physically mail it to your local county auditor. No electronic signatures allowed whatsoever.
Let's talk timelines, so you aren't just staring out the window at your mailbox. It takes just one single day to process your online application and pay your fee. From there, you should expect to wait anywhere from 3 to 6 weeks to receive your updated physical driver's license via standard USPS mail. And keep in mind, the state actually limits online renewals to once every 10 years, which is basically every other 5-year license cycle. So eventually, you will have to go back to an exam station for a new photo.
Moving into Section 5, after submission and troubleshooting. Basically your go-to guide if things go sideways.
Consider this your emergency command center. If you get locked out of your MySD account, just call the state help desk at 605-773-3011. If you have specific questions about your license eligibility, or maybe you're not sure if your documents are valid, call the driver licensing office directly at 605-773-6883 during normal weekday business hours. You can also shoot them an email directly. And hey, if all else fails, or you just really prefer paper, you can mail your application packet and a check straight to 118 West Capitol Avenue in Pierre. Bottom line, you are never stranded in this process. Oh, and I have a fantastic insider tip for you, pulled right from the administrative rules. Let's say you just moved down the street. You want to be legally compliant, but you don't really care if the actual physical plastic card in your wallet has the new address on it. Well, you can use the direct email pathway. You literally just email your verified identifiers to DPS, and they will update the internal state database for free. The standard portal charges you $22 because it triggers the printing of a brand new physical card. But the email pathway? It's a brilliant, completely free alternative just for internal compliance. Finally, Section 6, recap and final disclaimers. Let's wrap this journey up.
Here is your ultimate takeaway checklist. First, make sure your license has that absolutely crucial Gold Star Real ID. Next, gather those 2 digital address documents, making sure they're under 1 year old. Then, use the MySD portal to submit everything and pay the $22 fee. And most importantly, whatever you do, do not forget to separately update your vehicle and voter registrations. Because remember, those databases do not talk to each other.
And of course, I have to deliver our standard disclaimer. The information provided in this explainer is based on currently available data and administrative rules. Bureaucracies, as we know, love to shift their policies, change their fees, and update their forms. So always check the official South Dakota Department of Public Safety resources and sd.gov for the absolute latest updates before you actually apply. Armed with all this knowledge, you can bypass the DMV lines and set up your new South Dakota home base right from your couch. But it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? If a simple address change reveals totally disconnected databases and hidden administrative quirks here, what other state systems are out there operating in the dark? Next time you move, don't just update your ID. Ask yourself, what other agencies might you be forgetting? Thanks for joining me on The Explainer today, and happy moving.